Hello, everybody out there in radio, internet, TV, and in-person land. This is your host of A Call to Action in the person of Alex C. Haversham, and I'm so glad that you are joining us today because we got a special program, we got special initiatives, and most importantly, we got a special lady that we're going to be interviewing today in the person of Miss Charise Stephens Merriweather. And she has just done so much in the community. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just a little jealous. Now, I've gotten a lot of awards, but, she's trying to outdo me. And, she's getting an award from the Martin Luther King Commission and all that, or some kind of big award. She going to the Atlanta they get and all that. But that's because she's deserving, and we'll talk about that a little later. But we're going to come out of the chute talking about, something that is close to my heart, and I'm sure it's close to hers, and that's the development and advancement of African American businesses. And she's a part of two organizations, really. And, show you how bad she is. She's the president of both of them. And so she's going to talk to us about both of those organizations. One is the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers. Now, let me tell you why it's simple. I hope you all have seen my series on Black economics. Look, I'm serious about that. And what that means is that we can better utilize the resources that we have to advance our community in a lot of ways, particularly economically. So I think that I know these chambers are close to my heart because they address that initiative that I had for over 35 years. And the reason I said 35 years, let me plug this in, Charise. We're going to be celebrating the 35th anniversary of the Macon Middle Georgia Black Pages. The next edition will be the commemorative 35th anniversary edition. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I just wanted to plug it because what's most important at this point, as it relates to this interview, is Dr. Merriweather and all of her accomplishments throughout the years. So, take it away. Tell us a little bit, tell your story first, and then delve into. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, she also has a real job. She's in charge of the office of a small business assistant. We don't need to forget that.
That's right.
For the city of Macon. So, Charise, tell your story.
Well, I want to tell you, I had the pleasure in my 20th to meet this phenomenal young man that transformed my life in the most amazing way. He taught me about being intentional, that the buying power, and that we need to work together for a greater cause. And the man I'm talking about is Alex C. Haversham. You have been such an inspiration to me, and everything that's happening in my life now, I want to say thank you for guiding me. Sometimes we could be knucklehead when we're young, and to have someone that can pour knowledge and their servant leadership spirit into you means a lot. So, my name is Charise Stephens Merriweather. I have the pleasure of being the first woman ever to direct the Macon Bibb Office of Small Business Affairs. Our Mayor, Lester Miller, when he became the mayor the first term, the first thing he did was hire me and Dr. Ficklin, and I've been here ever since working this office. And I'm proud of everything that we're doing here. We're getting more people to get business contracts with Macon Bibb, and then also just to understand their dream. I was a single mom myself, and entrepreneurship saved me. It got me out of poverty. I have a lot of God-given talents, and I was able to hone those and to support me and my two children, which are adults now. I also have the pleasure of co-founding with Mr. Alex C. Haversham, the Central Georgia Coalition of Black Businesses, and it has transformative. We're in, can you believe it, sir? We're in over 3 years now. And in that 3 years, we are actually implementing a grants program, which we're currently finishing up now. We got funding through Governor Brian Kemp with the state of Georgia. and we're helping our small businesses. We have business mixers. But one thing I love, we have our weekly economic roundtable calls, which we have the movers and shakers coming in and talking to our members every week. So it's been a blessing, to say the least. And then the most impressive thing that the Central Georgia Coalition of Black Business do is the Black Business Expo. And it's during August, which is the Black Business Month. And then this year, well, last year, yeah, it's 2026. We had at the Macon Mall, and we took over the mall, and we'll be back at the mall. I've actually had people already trying to sign up to be vendors and exhibits. The stores there are asking when we're going to come back. So it's such a positive experience. So I want to do a shout out to Alex Morrison and UDA and the whole team for believing in us and giving us an opportunity to have the Black Business Expo, but we'll be back in August.
Outstanding. So talk a little bit specifically about the Georgia Chamber.
Yes. So we're not in a silo. The Central Georgia Coalition of Black Businesses is partnering with other sister chambers, Black commerce organization across the state of Georgia, and is led by the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers. I've been there since the beginning, and currently I chair and am the interim executive director. So I do the day-to-day with the Georgia Coalition of Black Businesses. We have Black Commerce Day that will be on February the 5th at the state capitol. We're going to have people all over the state letting the state of Georgia know that, yes, we're number one in business, but we need to be number one in Black business. So we're going to be intentional. We're going to be sharing the Black pages. I think the Black pages should be in every region in the state of Georgia, actually in the Southeast. So we're going to really be showing them some best case scenarios. So yes, I am proud of the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers. We have the Black Commerce Day, and then we have a conference coming up in March that will really focus on Black prosperity.
Okay, that is so outstanding. Um, Before we get into your award, because if we start mentioning all those accomplishments, it'll take us 2 days. So let's talk more specifically about the Central Georgia Coalition of Black Business and go into more detail about that. Mention specifically maybe some of the individuals who have been on our roundtables, the mixer, the purpose of the mixer and some of the location, and some of the recipients of the grant. And then when we get into it, I guess we need to just let them know the mechanism. Talk a little bit more about membership, and the mechanism to start getting signed up, because it seems to me that they're gonna need to sign up early for for that expo thing, girl.
Yeah, they're going to have to sign early. But listen, this is hot off the press. I want to tell you about some of our newest recipients of the SBR grant. Hamtech is one of our grants submission. They were instrumental in the AI Summit and doing so many things. I'm so excited that they're going to be a recipient of SBR grant. We also have Technology Made Easy from one of our Warner Robins members, and we're so excited about them. We have Lamont Sip and Dip, which is a premier mobile catering service, and she's going to be a recipient. So we have had a lot of people getting this help. And when I say grant, that means they can spend this money on whatever they can to support their business, and they don't have to pay it back. It's actual a grant. But I do want to encourage people, this work ain't free. Is blood, sweat, and tears, and we need members. It's power in numbers. It's a value in being a member of the Central Georgia Coalition of Black Men, just for the business mixes that we have monthly and the weekly calls, not including the expo, not including the technical assistance, not just including the free listing at the Middle Georgia Black pages. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And then the networking part, we're in this together. I don't want to go into all the national things that are going on, but my mentor, Mr. Alex C. Habersham, has told us that we need to pull our own self up by our own bootstraps. And we need to work together and get out our silos. And that's what this coalition is all about, getting out our silos and learning. You're never too old to learn, and it's always something you can do. And then I bring the power of my office, the Office of Small Business Affairs, because that's what I do. I provide free technical assistance to small businesses. I actually, I guess it's the new year, but I've had about 20 people come to my office, especially after we had that Kwanzaa roundtable with Mr. George Muhammad. I've had about 7 people out of that one presentation come because they want to have a better 2026. So I want to encourage people to become members. The cost is nominal based on the value, and then we want to get your input. So we'll have information on becoming a member, and we would love to see you come. And then for the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers, we want to take over the state capitol on February the 5th. It is a free event. You have to have your driver's license because, it's a state building. You have to, get signed in. But we want to show up and show out that small businesses matter here in the state of Georgia. But yeah, it's a lot going on. You got to be a member to keep up with everything that's going on. We want you to be part of the movement.
Right, and that website is www.cgcbb.org if somebody is interested in becoming a member. I know that, a couple of the initiatives that were your brainchild as it relates to the mixer and what have you. So talk a little bit about a couple of them specifically, and maybe you want to do another one. But what was the rationale behind the mixer that was entitled "She Leads"?
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
that we had at one of our members' facility, Dr. Anissa Jones. What drove that?
Central Georgia is really blessed to have 3 female members of the legislature that are on the Economic Development Committee. We have Supreme Justices. I mean, we just have everything you can possibly imagine. So this mixer was to let people know who they are, and they shared their story. Erica, our clerk, Erica Woodford, talked about the slave. What's it? I want to say it right. Was it the, um, I don't want to say it wrong. It's just the slave registry that was here in
Yes,
Macon.
yes.
Um, and learning about that. So they told their story, they told their passions of what they were doing. And to say that every person there, male or female, was inspired would be an understatement. So that was one of the things that we do. And then, every December, because we're all focused on being intentional and educational, it's a fun time. We gave out presents to our members. We did Secret Santas, and we really just built that camaraderie that we're all in it together. So every mixer is different. We're kicking off January at the Middle Georgia Airport because a lot of funding is going to upgrade our airport, and we need to be a part of it. So we'll have that. And then in February, which is Black History Month, I'm excited that we're going to have our Black Anonymous tour bus with Alex E. Habersham so he can really share this history because I hear him every day, but some of this history I didn't even know. So I think in 2026, we need to every month, not just Black History Month, not only follow Black economics, but be intentional in learning stuff from the Ruth Harley Mosley Center, the Douglas Theater, the library with their genealogy. It's a wealth of knowledge, and we need to do that every month.
Yeah, that is so very, very, very true. And we'll talk a little bit about the role that community participation and support of different organizations and involvement in different organizations, the role that plays in helping to make a successful business, that you can't just be concerned about, your specific business, but you also got to get involved in some community activities and some community endeavors. So talk about that and the role that and how that has helped you. Go ahead. I
Mhm.
know you want to plug in, I know you want to plug in You Create Maker,
Yay!
and the
Listen.
bikers, but I think it's important. I think two things are important from a consumer perspective. It's important that we support, African American businesses along with the other ones. But from a business perspective, I think it's important that those of us who are in business support organizations and nonprofits like the Coalition of Black Businesses, like the Boy Scouts and other organizations that, I mean, we need to be involved in the development and the improvement of our community. So talk about what you have done and what that has meant to you
Right.
as it relates to being involved and creating a nonprofit and the kind of benefit and satisfaction that one gets from that kind of activity.
So you are your biggest marketing selling attribute, and people do business with people they trust. And when you serve on these different boards and organizations, people get to know you. They get to know your story, your services, and it helps out tremendously. I cannot tell you how many times that I've served in a volunteer role and people knew my worth and say, "Hey, I didn't know you did that. Can you do XYZ?" So it's important that you be out in the community and also so you know what is needed in the community. I have a lot of small businesses that come in and they do have small business ideas, but I always ask them, who's going to be your audience? Is it a need? Did you do your market research? When you serve some of these volunteer opportunity, it's kind of like your market research. You're getting a feel for what's happening. And if you're doing something, say, dang, I think they need to have XYZ for all their meetings. You make sense, and then you can suggest it. If you had not served, you would have not had that inside information to do that. So I've learned from the best, Miss Habersham. She is out and about. She is a true community leader. And that's what I want to do. I want to be out seeing what's happening so I can make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, and that is so very important. Um, uh, Talk about You Create Macon. I think that's such a phenomenal organization. Just very quickly talk about that and then segue into your award.
Yes. So the God had put it on my heart to create this nonprofit program. I'm an empty nester. My kids are adults. I was not intended to be around children, but it was on my heart that a lot of our kids were getting killed or in going to jail, just a lot of stuff. And I was like, I got to do something. So I didn't even know what direction to take. Um, it started with an empty building in Pleasant Hill. Now we're at 4 locations. I don't know if I told you that, Mr. Allen. We got 4 locations now. We started out with no bikes, and we have an inventory of so many bikes. It's unreal. But what we do is take all children, but we're intentional in having Black and brown children experience outdoor therapy, biking. We've taken them to Canada. So some of these kids actually got a passport for the first time, which opens their eyes. There's a whole other conversation about giving our kids these experiences. We have biked all over the state of Georgia, going to state parks they never even knew about. We went to Jekyll Island, and it blew these kids' minds that Georgia has an island. Yes, Georgia has a couple of islands, a few
Mhm.
islands. So exposing these kids, and I'm happy to say that the kids that have really been in our program, we actually saved their lives, a lot of them, because they were able to do something so positive. We had a lot of kids who may have not finished high school. They finished and graduated. So we do have a big success rate. We are moving not only across the state, but nationally, but it's my heart. So this biking with kids, as long as God give me the strength to do it, I may be 80 years old. I'm gonna still be out there biking with kids, and I'm so thankful. So with this award for the celebration of MLK holiday, I don't even know who nominated me, to be quite honest, sir. I got a message from DCA from the state of Georgia that I was nominated, and that the governor is going to be there, the lieutenant governor, Ambassador Andrew Young, John Hope. All these people are going to be there to recognize, I think, either 4 or 5 people in the state of Georgia that exemplify the legacy of Martin Luther King. And oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I don't even know. When I got the call, I'm like, what is happening? But to be one of those recipients is a humbling experience. And I hope I live up to the the faith that people put into me. But I'm thrilled and excited for this award and this recognition.
Well, I'm glad that you are, and then you are so deserving of that award, and I'm glad that you are being recognized. And although you're still a young person, you're getting your flowers while you live. That's no indication that you won't live a long time, but it's important to recognize people that value their work and their contributions, early on. So I just want to publicly uh, thank and congratulate you, for what you're doing with the Black commerce organizations throughout the state, what you're doing with the Central Georgia Coalition of Black Business, what you're doing with the Office of Small Business Assistance for the city of Macon, and trying to direct some of those products and services that the city utilizes to opportunities for small businesses, of any ethnicity uh, throughout the community. And certainly what you're doing for these kids with the biking, I just think it's absolutely phenomenal. Because let me tell you something. I usually charge for this, but I'm going to give it to you free. I think the community needs to realize, particularly as it relates to youth, that everybody has a button. And then if we find out what button they have that we can push and then capture their interest, then this will divert them from negative behavior to positive behavior because they are dealing with their button. And it's pretty obvious. The proof in the pudding is that biking is the button for a lot of these young people. I know the kids. I always think about them, the twins,
Yes, they're
because
extraordinary.
they ride what, 50 miles? I mean,
Listen, they can do a metric century, which is 62 miles. But the key part about this, and then we'll say just really quickly, we have had Black kids that didn't even know what mountain biking. Her twins made it to the state final for the state of Georgia, and they had never mountain biked before. So these experiences are going to be key. Just like you, Mr. Habersham, you poured into me as a young person when I was trying to start a business, and look at me now. I'm pouring into these kids, and I cannot wait to see what they're going to be in 30 plus years.
well, that's just so outstanding. And we will be showing and featuring different graphics as we walk through this interview to just let that if it is to be, it's up to me. That's a motto that I use. And then I got a new one. Let's get it fixed in 2026.
Okay.
you know. So that's what
I
we're
want a
going to
shirt.
do. Yeah, yeah. And that's what we're going to do. And then I want everybody to understand, like Charise Stephens Merriweather, you can play a role in getting things fixed in 2026 from an academic perspective, from a sociological perspective, from an economic perspective, from a nonprofit, civic. There are just so many activities, so many things going on in the community, and it takes a village.
Hmm.
So don't say there's nothing that you can do because it is. And if you need help finding out what you can do, then just call somebody. Join the coalition. We'll give you something to do. www.cgcbb.org. So we just got a profound appreciation and acknowledgement for Miss Charise Stephens Merriweather,
Thank you, sir.
and her 4 locations for you create along along with all of the other titles and projects and programs and initiatives that in which she is involved. You got the last comments before I close it out. What you want to say?
I just want to say thank you, Mr. Habersham, for everything. I want to encourage people to be intentional, to register their business with the Black Pages. It's a free listing. I want you to become a member with the Central Georgia Coalition of Black Businesses. I want you to be a vendor with Macon-Bibb County. My office is always open. I have the most phenomenal assistant. Her name is Anasha, and she will work with you. So with that being said, I just want us to do something different in 2026, y'all. It's bigger than one person. We're trying to build generational wealth.
Yes, and we'll be doing that. This is the call to action.
A
I'm
call to
your host,
action. Oh, sorry.
Alex Haversham. I like you said that call. I used to do that. I used to say, this is a call to action. Then the person would say, a call to action. So
Yeah.
let's do that. This is a call to action.
A call to action.
Oh, yeah, I love that. And then, so we're very, very thankful from Miss Charise Stephens Merriweather for all she does. And just keep in mind all of the activities that were mentioned in this interview. And if you got a question or observations, what's the number that they need to call to be in touch with you, Charise?
Yes, it's 478-747-7920. You can call anytime between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Okay. And then the website for the coalition is www.cgcbb.org. And then if you want to know about vending with the city, then you could just go to the city's website.
Yep, and I have my own webpage for small business affairs. It has all my information, and we're online, so you can actually look at scheduling a time with us, or even looking at being a vendor.
That is so awesome. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex C. Habersham. I have an interview, Miss the masterful Charise Stephens Merriweather, who holds a lot of positions in this community and is doing a phenomenal job. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, on a call to action. Have a great day.
www.makingblackpages.com